Welcome to next time.
Oh my god, dude, I really wish I could get out of this chair, but do we really have to wait a full day between recording these two? Can't we just record them all in one shot?
We're not authentic if we don't do it. You know, we're no better than the people we criticize
You're
for
right.
this game, who we're gonna criticize in this video in particular.
Yeah, the last video, that was just constructive feedback. This one's gonna be just real hard.
I have all
criticism.
of Capcom of Japan's developers on hand, ready to call out every single one.
Alrighty, get the credits open.
This Welcome back to Hit Confirm for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. For today's video, we're going to be talking about DLC and then the rumors of development that came up afterwards, after the game's release not too long ago. But first, let's touch on the DLC, which we've been foreshadowing throughout the rest of these videos.
Yep. So currently right now what's available for DLC is the Character Pass, which is 6 characters to be released by the end of the year. 3 characters have already been released, that is Sigma, Black Panther, and Monster Hunter, all brand new characters to the Marvel vs. Capcom series. Along with that, it was also announced very recently that every single character will be receiving an extra kind of Wave 1 premium costume, which can either be bought individually for $4 each, or as a pack for, I think, $30.
Yeah, it's $30 for the entire Wave 1, so 30 costumes.
So you'll be paying, in that regard, $1 per costume.
I was gonna say 36, but the DLC characters actually come with their premium costumes. The DLC characters on their own cost $8. The character pass, which is still called a season pass, not a character pass, even though there is a different pass now, but the season pass is the 6 characters. That's $30 as well, and you can get the characters individually, $8, and they come with their premium costumes.
Yeah. Also for the premium costumes for the rest of the starting cast, 18 have already been revealed and released, with the rest coming at a later time, most likely when the rest of the DLC characters are released.
Oh yeah, they released 3 this time. There's just another release then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it'd go 2-2-2, but no, yeah.
No, that's
3-3. Yeah.
That would have. Yeah, I don't know.
Too late to do that now. Yeah, so yeah. The it's compared to other games, I think the price, because it comes with a costume too, it's fair at a standalone, but this game is going to have a massive amount of DLC and paid for content. It already has the game's retail release amount worth of content. Like, if you want the full MVCI experience, you've already paid $120.
It is kind of the same deal you were getting with Street Fighter V, where it was $30, 6 characters, comes with their premium costumes. I think where it kind of differs here, and where I would have liked to probably see maybe 2 extra characters, is just because it's a team-based fighting game, and I don't think any character on their own individually quite reaches the same level of complexity that like a single Street Fighter character would have. I'd say like every character may be like 3/4 as complex. So I don't think the actual value perfectly matches up. What I can say at the very least is that the characters we've seen and have been released so far and we've gotten to play with, Sigma, Black Panther, Monster Hunter, are all so radically different and interesting from the rest of the cast that I still think it's worth checking out, or at the very least buying whatever characters interest you, because the way that they move and attack, their move lists are so different from the rest of the cast that you're not buying just a, like, it's like Ultron, but like he doesn't fly and he's got an air dash and, you know, doesn't have drones. He's got a melee attack. Like they are radically different characters for sure.
It was like when people first saw Black Panther, they immediately thought Wolverine. He's nothing like Wolverine.
No, he is not. He's got crazy wall jumping stuff. and that's probably the reason why a lot of people haven't seen too much of him, is just because his movement is so complex to get down that people are still working on learning him, myself included. Whereas Sigma and to a little bit of a lesser degree Monster Hunter are a bit easier to pick up and just start playing. But at the very least, I can say that these first 3 characters make me very interested in seeing kind of the future of like post-launch characters, because of how unique these characters feel, and just having at right now 3 brand new characters to Marvel vs. Capcom as a series already makes this game feel fresher, even though there were some newer characters at launch. Really, on the Capcom side, it was X and Jetta, and that was it. Those were the only new Capcom characters at launch. Where now, I feel like as the roster starts to get filled in more and more with maybe classic characters we haven't seen in 3D yet, and brand new characters, the game itself is going to start to kind of open up, and the roster is definitely going to seem a lot better. It's just a shame that, again, this wasn't included in the base game, that it's stuff you have to buy extra.
Yeah, that's the problem is what I wanted to touch on is you've already paid $60 for what is a mediocre everything around it besides gameplay, but to get the what feels like polish, you get some of the 3 best looking characters like all around, in every aspect. You have to pay for them, and with the DLC costumes, those characters in their DLC costumes look, model-wise, texture-wise, they look radically better.
Most do. Some are still kind of weird. Spencer, I don't know what Capcom must hate Spencer. I don't even know why they put him in the fucking game. They should have just put classic Spencer in, but they didn't. So everyone else, or I guess classic Captain no, not Captain Commando. Bionic Commando. They should have just put the classic Bionic Commando in. But for the most part, the new costumes are very cool. And when I saw that news article, and it's like 30 new costumes in a pass for $30 or $4 each, all I could think about was the balls Capcom has to even, like, do that. This game is not selling well right now. And everyone is already like, oh, Capcom's greedy. You know, they're cutting content. There's rumors about that. You know, the game released unfinished.
I have no doubt about that in particular either. About, like, because these, first of all, like, there's certain steps to it. Like, their voice lines had to have already been recorded when they originally recorded the game. And especially everyone's tag-ins. But, like, that's the amount of polish that Sigma, Black Panther, and Monster Hunter have. There is no way they could have done it post-launch.
In a month.
Or even when they announced the game, not even when they announced the game went gold, but when the game did go gold. There was no way that those characters started from scratch at that point. Or even with their models, because they were all in the story mode.
Yeah.
And for example of a DLC costume, though, is Dante. He's
good old new Dante.
It's a terrible design, but he looks better than regular Dante.
I don't hate, like, new Dante's design was not my problem with DMC. I thought he looked like whatever. Like, he definitely looked radically different. For me, it was all personality. So when I saw the new Dante design, I saw that it looked as good as it did. I was actually kind of like, all right, that's cool. You know, it's something different. It's not the fucking Sparta costume that they gave Virgil and Dante in 3. I thought the costume looks fine, and I kind of like the design. I think it's cool that when he goes into Devil Trigger, it's the Devil Trigger from DMC and not the Devil Trigger from just regular Devil May Cry. Like, there's weird attention to detail there. It's just incredibly... I don't know if you're just, like, not aware of, like, your... Capcom doesn't seem aware of their current standing in, like, the public eye. Like, how How ballsy do you have to be where it's like, our game didn't sell, people are complaining that we're greedy, let's release a $30 costume pass that is not included in the season pass. Like, you don't want to release half of those as, like, for free, just to, like, kind of ease things up. You don't want to, like, do any good PR. Capcom seems to be allergic to good PR.
Yeah, I was even, like, done on Dante, though. With that new costume, yeah, I don't mind DMC Dante either, and it's and like in comparison design wise, I'm fine with it. I understand everyone's problem with it though. But in this game, he looks so fitting in other Dante's animations. It feels like he was supposed to be there by default, and I totally could believe that they did put him in there. And then, like, it was almost a last-minute decision before showing his character in any video to swap him with old Dante.
That possibility definitely exists.
It's kind of off topic, but I know that Capcom reaffirmed that they were very, they feel they were right in changing Dante's design. They thought the old design looked bad.
Oh, well, that's just shitty. Oh, yeah. You mean for this game?
Yeah, no, when they announced DMC. When they showed DMC.
Oh, well, that's objectively wrong.
Yeah, no, it was the director of the game. I say Capcom, but it was the director of the game.
Ninja Theory? Were they the ones who did DMC?
The specific director.
Ah, okay.
Like the one man who said that old Dante's design was super dumb and he doesn't look modern. They wanted a Dante that doesn't look dumb in public, basically. Is what they said.
And then they made... Okay, I will say he'd look fucking stupid in public. I think the design's fine, but that's a little much.
No, yeah, that's what he said. When that uproar first started. Like, they defended their decision for that design. So, yeah,
defend your guy, but don't lie.
The other costumes, like, it's seeing them in motion that really what makes them look good. The other ones, Suit Hulk.
Suit Hulk is fantastic. Miss Marvel is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That's just a smart decision. Cowboy Ghost Rider is really good.
I think like for like Captain Marvel, that's a good idea to wear to take the future costumes to.
Yeah, there's like you can make your character look like completely new or different characters, and it doesn't serve as a complete substitute, but at least people can like, oh, I'm a big like, I don't like Captain Marvel, I like Miss Marvel. Well, now I can like still get that experience out of the game, even though it like the announcer doesn't say Captain Marvel. It's like it's really cool, and it's like you could do cool stuff with X or Zero, where you could give like the Mega Man Zero costume to Zero, or
we already know X's costume because of the
very excited
those toy lineups, and I had to research to make sure that was the origin of it. And X's costume design, you saw the one.
Yeah, the
it's
one,
based
the April
off
Fool's joke,
an April Fool's toy designed for X.
And
it still looks cool though.
It's badass. It is probably the coolest X has ever looked. I will say
it's a really dope design. So like that's gonna be great. We brought it up earlier in like the first thing was Captain America's costume is super confusing.
It must be referencing something we just don't know.
Right, it's a gladiator outfit, and there is a comic it came from, but he doesn't look like Captain America. He looks like Thor.
He looks like what Thor probably should have looked like, but with Captain America, it looks weird.
It doesn't help that there's a movie coming out for Thor where he is in a gladiatorial situation with shorter hair. That's what throws me off. If it was not for the shield, I think that's what it would be from a casual standpoint.
And it's like Thor already got his gladiator costume, but really it's just like shirtless with pants and a beard. It's weird.
And then the costume he got in this premium pack is stupid because he just has 6 lights on him.
Oh, Ultimate Thor. This has been in like Marvel Ultimate Alliance and stuff. I think a good amount of the Ultimate costumes are stupid.
Well, yeah, they need to stop putting them in.
Yeah. whatever the fucking Hawkeye thing costume is cool. Like, there's a lot of really cool costumes here. The problem is that, like, way to throw salt into the fucking wound. Way to just blast the fire with lighter fuel. Just $30 costume pack. 1 month into the game, no one bought your game. Everyone's upset with you. Nothing. No like, sorry guys, here, you know, we looked at who the most played characters are right now. We've added a couple of free costumes in there for everyone to get, or like, hey, you know, we'll unlock all the colors for you. Like something, anything. Yeah. We added 2 more colors to everybody. Here you go. And it's like, no, you don't get anything.
And there was I'm looking through them and I'm remembering the things of like detail and polish that are better than the default costumes that are just more salt in the wound is Morgan. Morgan's face in game in that costume looks normal.
Yeah.
Her eyes don't look spaced out. She looks like Morgan in that alternate costume in game.
Yep. Doesn't make any sense. Just put the face on the other one and update the game.
Yeah.
Like, I'll wait an extra week. I know PlayStation takes a while to like accept updates, but just do it. Do anything.
No, I like Chris's jacket, just not his face.
Yeah.
That's one where they should have touched up the face.
Chris is a really cool costume for him. It's the Resident Evil 1 unlockable something heaven thing, if it's got the same logo on the back. But like, that's like a cool throwback.
Yeah, and if they can get like, I think they could still go further, where like put other Resident Evil characters over him. Like
Leon deserves a whole slot. I don't want.
Yeah, Leon does.
Chris.
Yeah, he does.
But you can put what the fuck's his face from 7 or not 7, 6. The bald dude or something.
I
don't know.
I don't get the Captain Arthur costume.
It's from one of the Ghosts and Goblins games.
It's just a
recent ones.
I just don't think it's a good design.
I like it. I don't know what it would look like with the gold armor and then the no armor variants, but I think I think that would have looked cool as the gold armor if he like sprouted wings and stuff.
You got immediately tons of comparisons between what's his face, Firebrand and Ridley.
Yeah, I like the Firebrand costume. It's very cool.
You kind of like can understand it. It's the exact same color scheme.
Yeah.
Though this would not predate it. This would not predate Ridley. But like, you know, it's the same color scheme.
It is definitely a reference to one of the games starring Firebrand, though.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like Ryu, he's got his broken gi that he always has in every fucking game he's in. Dormammu's a rock. That's cool, I guess. Iron Man is like that fucking robot that picks up crates that they made in Japan. He's got this weird pink and gold and white variant. It's like some of these are really good. Some of these are hit or miss. None of it should not be a $30 pack 1 month into the game. I really wanted new costumes, but this is dumb. $4 for a costume is ridiculous. Yeah. You only get 4 colors still.
Yeah.
Like,
and when we get more colors, we're probably gonna have to pay for them.
Yeah. It'll be a color pack, 4 more colors, whole cast, another $30, and just throw your money away. Like, at least Street Fighter V, it's 10 colors per costume. Like, the $4 it's a little easier to swallow when it's 10 colors and then you can unlock 5 more.
Yeah, most of the content, not all of it in Street Fighter V, you can unlock without paying.
Yeah, and anything that's not is usually just a premium costume. And those are fine. They're just cosmetics. But like, you can still get a battle costume and a story costume and all this stuff. You have options. And at the very least, if you just have the default, you have the colors. But in this game, there are no options, and the only options there are is locked behind another paywall after you just dropped $60 for what many people are already saying is an underwhelming package.
Yeah. like really underwhelming to the casual audience, and then you have to pay for more and
if you aren't gonna enter a tournament or play the online extensively, then don't buy Marvel. Like, it's fun, it's really fun, but this is not a, it's not a like, there's not enough value here to justify it. But if you do want to play it competitively, go out and buy it right now, because it's fucking fun. But maybe wait until, like, PlayStation Network does that thing they do, where it's like, buy Marvel in the Season Pass for only $30.
Here we go. All right, I pulled up the video so I could have a quicker reference to it. It was put out a little bit after the game came out, from Liam Robertson, the game history guy. He supposedly had talked with employees of Capcom who talked about the development, and forewarning before we discuss the details, as I looked into it, Liam Robertson has been wrong before, and what we could say could be here is that the specific employees he's talked to, I'm pretty sure we know who they are, and they have said details about Marvel Infinite that have already been wrong before. I'm blanking on what they had told, but there was information that these employees had already spoke of.
Was it the one where they said, Marvel said, make Capcom look shitty on purpose?
No, that was just some Redditor.
Okay.
No, it predates that. I think it was about the accessibility of the game, like that early ago. And what they said was inaccurate, and they said it was inaccurate. So, like, these are the source of the information is possibly inaccurate because they have been in the past, because they aren't, like, directly involved. It's Capcom of America. They hear things through the woodworks. They aren't directly involved. Yeah. So everything we talk about from here on is still under rumors. Yeah. It's not confirmed. But what it detailed was that the game had a ridiculously low budget. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was a rush development.
It was half of Street Fighter V's DLC budget.
Yeah.
So not the budget for Street Fighter V, the budget to make the extra DLC characters for Street Fighter V. That was the budget for the entirety of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, allegedly.
Yeah, and that's still, like, given the story mode alone, that's hard to believe. Actually, no, given the whole game and story mode, that's hard to believe.
Yeah.
Like, there was still a lot that went into that story mode.
Too much.
Regardless of how, like, mediocre it is, still time and money went into it.
Yeah.
Even with, like, all mocap animation, between programming, because these guys are learning a new engine. It's not the, they're learning this engine.
Yeah, they use
people that have modded the game have seen that.
framework for Marvel 3, I believe.
Voice acting, the mocap, everything to writing and everything. It was effort was somewhat put in. It just wasn't a good product, but, like, it's still a representation of cost. So it's just hard to believe that it cost that little.
And I mean, there is a lot of, like, it goes beyond allegations. There was definitely cases where models reported for Marvel 3.
Yeah.
Like, animations for sure. Where victory animations are exactly the same.
Yeah, there's so many recycled animations that are clearly there, and it's we know this from Guilty Gear, that when you take a model that's from such a specific art style, it doesn't look good in general 3D. But there's most likely, like, those assets were, it was the same models but rearranged, basically. Yeah, modified and tweaks. Like, I don't think there's a real doubt about that.
Yeah.
But there is objectively no denying it's the same animations.
Half of Street Fighter V's DLC budget, that seems incredibly low, but I don't think it could have been much more than all of Street Fighter V's DLC budget.
No, yeah, it was not a big budget game.
No, for sure.
Especially for like and you know, that's just one of the fundamental issues is it's a AAA game. It's a Marvel licensed game.
Yeah.
The 2017 Marvel Empire's name is on this product.
This is one of the first like Marvel games to come out in a while, isn't it? Too? Like the last Marvel game.
What do you mean in general?
Yeah, just in general. I mean, when was the last like console like Marvel game to come out?
Probably the Lego games.
Yeah.
You know. So there's but I don't think they like on terms of like Marvel themselves as a studio, I don't think they cared about this game in particular more than anything else. Like like it didn't get any more care or treatment from Marvel's game development studios, who was involved in it, but they don't care about it more than any other of the other mobile games. It's just another game like the mobile games.
Or that Marvel Heroes dungeon crawler game. Yeah, no, it definitely didn't receive any kind of special care, which is a shame because it really needed that kind of support just to kind of come out as a complete product. And they definitely, lack of Marvel support definitely didn't help when it came from like allowing licenses to supporting financially on either front.
Yeah, because even what the most likely situation is licensing wise is that they could have the X-Men in it. There would not really be an issue. Same with I'm blanking on other characters. Fantastic Four, the ones owned by Fox, Hulk's in there, but Universal. The issue wasn't licensing legality. It was that they're promoting brands that the direct MCU doesn't benefit off.
Yeah.
Like Disney, Marvel don't benefit from pushing the X-Men forward.
And you can definitely see that, especially with the DLC characters, where it's like, on the Marvel side, even though most of the characters will be Marvel characters, the only people really left are like Venom, who's an interesting character, who's making a comeback. The other characters are Black Widow and the Winter Soldier, who are just kind of people. They're just person with gun and secret agent lady. Again, unless the Black Widow is the Capcom one, the wrestler, which is not happening.
It's not, because we have seen they left the
they
concept
tweeted
art
it out.
They tweeted that art out.
I don't think they tweeted the art out, but they made a tweet with absolutely no fanfare at all, like late at night, and they're like, yeah, the rest of the characters are Black Widow, Winter Soldier, Venom.
Yeah.
Buy the season pass.
In the game's DLC, or in the game's files, is literally the concept art for all the DLC characters. So we know what, and if you look at the concept art, it's really close to the 3D models. So we know exactly what Black Widow, Venom, and the other one.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
Bucky.
See who? Yeah, Bucky. We know what they are gonna look like already.
Yeah. And we already probably know what they're gonna play like too. I mean, Winter Soldier's probably gonna be mostly range focused. You'll be a better Chris. That's it.
Yeah. Now, well, given the current DLC, maybe we could be wrong on that front.
Maybe. They could do something really... The only character they could really go outside of the box for would be Venom, and just have him not play like older games, but
that's
the problem.
Put time and effort into them.
Yeah. But see, that's the problem, is like Winter Soldier and Black Widow, they're just people without powers.
Yeah.
So like the range of what you can actually do is pretty limited. Where it's like Black Widow will have acrobatic functions probably, and Winter Soldier will be much more tactical and probably play a zoning game. And like beyond that, what could you really say about them?
The other thing that was in the video was that was this talk about there's a separation between Capcom as a publisher and Capcom as a developer. That I think that actually goes without saying.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
we know like people that have gone to Capcom of America. Literally, it's Maximilian. He's literally in Capcom of America, and he's like, Dante looks bad, and Capcom of America is like, yeah, we know. Because there's a total separation between in all of Capcom and it's shown. We can believe that.
Yeah.
And it's just rather unfortunate how disconnected Capcom's publishing branch is, and how much they don't really care as much as Marvel's thing doesn't care.
Yeah, it's like, you know that a lot of people are at fault, but you really can't pin down exactly who it is.
And I would like, I think there's still some things to put on the developers, but the developers are really trying.
Yeah, they made the game good.
They're still going at it.
But see, that's where I'm like, it's like, did it take more money or more effort to make Dante look the way he does? Like, you could have just made the graphics look a little simpler and had it look much cleaner, where the faces don't look all fucked up because you didn't try to go for like total realism. It's like, and you probably would have costed the same amount of money and time. It's just the direction you decided to pursue was wrong. And it's like, that's on the developers, really.
I think there is an inconsistency there where in the video, I think it said Dante was from MVC3, but there was another story I saw published where the model of Dante was actually from another game, like one of his own games.
Oh.
Instead, and that he was used without permission. I think it's really weird that it specified his model was used without permission.
Yeah, especially when it's all Capcom, where they probably could have gotten the permission. Like,
well, they own it. Like,
Exactly.
Do they need to ask permission?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I think like, because it was the guy that made DMC. Well, I'm pretty sure. I think.
I couldn't.
No, the dude said he was asked without permission, and that he was really taken aback when he saw Dante in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, he didn't think he would be there because no one told him he was in there.
Oh, you mean they used Dante, like, the character entirely without...
No, his model, too.
Oh, yeah,
like,
the model,
like, literally
too, but, like...
the assets were used from his games. And without permission. But, like, I'm not sure if they needed to. I guess it is...
It's a courtesy, you'd think they'd ask.
Yeah, out of courtesy, yeah.
Like, even if they say no, and they're like, yeah, well, we pay your bills, so fuck you.
It just resonates in a lot of aspects that Capcom is a massive mess. And
at the very least, their fighting game division, because like Monster Hunter's still making bank and Resident Evil 7 was sick.
Yeah,
so, like,
it didn't do the sales it should have done, but it was a good game.
Yeah, and like it's getting a gold release. You know, they've been supporting it since it's come out. And again, Monster Hunter World comes out, you know, a little later this year, and that series has no intention of dying out anytime soon. It's just the fighting game division, and it's weird because fighting games are getting bigger and bigger, and it seems like the effort Capcom's putting in is less and less. And I don't know if it's because they feel like they already have the monopoly and they're at the top of like the progression of esports right now. I don't
that's
know
going
what it
down
is.
though because of SF5 is a slowly sinking ship.
SF5 is a slowly sinking ship, but we'll see what Arcade Edition, I guess, does. If adding a new V trigger and more moves for all the characters really changes all that much. Like, just a simple system change like that, it could be the thing that adds variety, or it could just be like another... It's like people figured out characters like within a couple of weeks. Now they just figure out the new V trigger in like 1 week, and now you just pick between the two, but everybody still plays both V triggers like differently but the same. Where there's still no variety, there's just more choices you could make, but you still can't really break from the mold too much. That's all I have to say on that.
Jackpot! I win again.